Hi, and welcome to this training video brought to you by Category Management Knowledge Group. This week's tip has been created by us to teach you how to drill through baseline and incremental sales, one of the key data sources that if you have access to it and you're not using it because you don't completely understand it, now's your chance. My last tip walked you through the basic category review data and how to drill through and think about some of the basic data measures. And now we're going to focus on dissecting baseline and incremental sales a little bit deeper through the category tactics. In case you don't know about Category Management Knowledge Group, which is my company, I'll let you know a few things. I'm Sue Nichols, the president and founder of CMKG. I spent 20 years at P&G, ultimately managing the Canadian category management team and serving on global category management committees. Michelle Patterson is the Director of Training and Development and also started her career with 12 years at P&G. The biggest distinction between CMKG and our e-learning competition is that we're category management professionals first and an e-learning company second. We have a huge passion in what we do and feel privileged to work with so many category management professionals from around the world. When I started this company, I saw a huge opportunity, not only within North America, but globally, to start sharing a lot of those foundations of category management that are sometimes difficult to come by. And that's why we've created all of this great training by Category Management Knowledge Group. So let's get started on the official part of the training now. Last week, I talked about the basic category assessment for Retailer X, and we compared results across the segments using some basic data measures. Today, we're going to be drilling into the baseline and incremental tactical results, which, when changed, can drive action in the segments and the category. Last week, I walked through a basic category review. Let's just kind of top line what we learned last week. We looked at data measures like percent change versus year ago and absolute volume change, and I ended by reviewing the baseline and incremental sales results because it gives you a much better understanding of what's driving the overall results in this category and across the segments. So the overall category is down 6%, being driven by baseline, which is down 4%, and incremental, which is down 10%. So you might think that incremental is a big opportunity, but when you look at absolute volume change, it's actually the baseline that's lost more sales and may be the bigger priority focus area. This is because 77% of the category's sales are sold on baseline, with 23% sold incrementally. So a 4% decline in baseline represents much more than a 10% decline in incremental. The declines are being driven by manufacturers number 1 and 2, with baseline sales decline in the family and adult segments and incremental declines in the adult and kids segments. So then we captured our key observations from the data, including the insights from tying in with baseline and incremental sales results for the category. This is really important to do to capture those key priorities and focus areas because it really makes you stay focused on the rest of your analysis. Now it's time to drill into the tactics, or the 4 Ps. I mentioned before that by splitting volume into baseline and incremental sales, you can start drilling into the tactics without even realizing it. This is because they're influenced by different tactics. So baseline sales is influenced by marketing efforts, including coupons. Baseline sales also includes out-of-store marketing, brand equity, as well as external influences like economic conditions, weather, and so on. It's also influenced by baseline or regular price strategies, purchases driven by distribution or new products, and shelving changes. Baseline is derived by algorithms for the product within the banner and within the broader market to calculate the expected sales levels in the absence of promotion. Incremental sales can be influenced by promotion, ads, and circular activity. This includes in-store and flyer coupons, price reductions, as well as in-store display. You need to measure your tactics in a way that show change through a percent change or a point change number. So in this example, I've got the number of items point change, which is a baseline driver. Next, I've got a percent change in the number of features versus year ago, which is an incremental driver. And then the last tactic is a percent change in the display support versus year ago, which is another incremental driver. There's other measures you could include in this report, but for this example, we're going to stick to these 3 measures. So let's look at the results now and how they relate to the priority focus areas that we outlined in our category review, starting with the baseline results. If you look down the baseline percent change column, we've already identified the numbers highlighted in red as priority focus areas. So in this example, manufacturers number 1 and 2 family and manufacturer number 1 adult have seen significant declines in baseline sales. We can look at the item point change results, which is a baseline driver, and compare the results to the baseline volume results. Or in other words, when you look at the decline in the percent change for baseline sales across the key segments, and then look at the number of items point change, is there a correlation? Does it appear that changes in the number of items listed across the segments may have a significant impact on the baseline sales decline? As an example, manufacturer number 1 family is down 16% in baseline sales, but they actually increased by 1.1 items in the same time period. So a change in product distribution was not the driver of these results in this example. And manufacturer number 2 family is down 8% in baseline sales and down just slightly in the number of items, so it's unlikely that it's a driver of the negative volume results for this segment. And in manufacturer number 1 adult, which is down 6% in baseline sales, once again, there's not a huge change in assortment. So in net, the change in items did not have a significant impact on the baseline sales in our priority focus areas. So we really don't still know what's driving that baseline number down. Now let's look at the incremental sales priority results in this table. Once again, highlighted in red. So manufacturer number 2 family and manufacturer number 1 and 2 adult are down in incremental sales. So once again, let's get an understanding of which tactics are driving these results. For manufacturer number 2 family, they're down 14% in incremental sales. There was a decline of 48.7% in feature support and 26.3% in display support over the same time period. So this is definitely an example of where tactics have a direct impact on incremental sales results. Interestingly to note, manufacturer number 1 is also down significantly in feature support, but is up significantly in display support, which most likely saved the incremental listings from tanking. The next priority is manufacturer number 1 adult, which is down 15%. You can see that the feature support versus year ago is down by over 33%, once again, a likely driver of incremental volume results for this segment. And finally, manufacturer number 2 adult is down 29% in incremental sales and down 60% in feature support. Of note, you can see that manufacturer number 3 adult is up over 20% in feature and display support, but that their overall volume only grew by $55,000 absolute dollars. So it looks like the retailer may have ramped up promotions on manufacturers number 3 and 4 in the adult segment to the detriment of the entire segment and ultimately the incremental sales in the category. Finally, manufacturer number 2 is down 35%, once again with a significant reduction in feature support. And once again, it's manufacturers number 3 and 4 in kids that increased their feature support significantly over the same time versus previous period, once again to the detriment of the total kids segment. Promotions are typically run on some type of weekly schedule, and they also tie in with display and price reduction. By looking at things from a top-line perspective like I just showed you on the previous slide, you can sometimes uncover great insights without having to drill into the much more detailed weekly data. And sometimes at that deeper level, you can't even see some of the bigger overriding issues. But when booking ads, it's important to also understand how different types of promotions drive sales and profit and what the most effective price points are, including the influence that display will have on the promotion. We're not going to get into details about that, but it's something important to note. You do need to be able to drill deeper into each of the different components within the tactics. An important tactic that wasn't covered in the previous report is price. Average unit price is a common calculation for understanding pricing at a brand or segment level. The calculation is the total brand or segment dollar sales divided by the brand or segment unit sales. So as an example, if we look at brand A has a dollar sales of $100,000. And we divide that by brand A unit sales of 50,000 units to equal a $2 average unit selling price for brand A. There's an important watch out when using average unit price that needs to be considered. Using average unit price at a category, brand, or segment level can lead to incorrect conclusions about the trends that you may see in pricing. One solution is to also have an average price per ton or equalized volume instead of per unit. If you only have access to the average unit price, make sure that you drill down a unit price at an item level or even at a line price level to truly understand the pricing trends. So now we're looking at a tonnage report for the category. You'll note that I have different segments down the side. In this category, there are small, medium, and large size packs. that have significantly different tonnage prices. So by breaking it out by size, I can get a better perspective of what's happening with pricing. You'll also note that I've included 2 price breakouts, regular price and TPR price, so that I can consider baseline and incremental sales once again. As I already mentioned, regular price relates to baseline sales. You can see that manufacturer number 1 has declined in average regular price by 30 cents, and this is consistent across their small, medium, and large pack sizes. I can also see that manufacturer number 1 has the highest percentage of dollars sold on TPR in small, medium, and large pack sizes, and the percent sold on TPR continues to grow in the small and large pack. This could have an impact on baseline sales. I can also see that manufacturer number 1 has the highest percent of dollars sold on TPR in small, medium, and large pack sizes, and the percent sold on TPR continues to grow in the small and large pack. This could have an impact on baseline sales as well. So regular price is something that needs to be further understood for manufacturers number 1 and 2 because it appears to be affecting baseline sales in some key segments. There's a lot more detail we could go into on this page, but I just wanted to start to point out some of the ways that you can split out the baseline versus incremental look when you're looking at pricing. In order to truly understand pricing, you really need to drill down to an item level for the areas of concern to make decisions on pricing changes. So now we need to go back to our priorities that we captured in our category overview and then tie in with the specific actions that we completed by drilling into the baseline and incremental sales and understanding the tactics at a deeper level. Overall, based on the analysis that we walked through, an in-depth pricing and promotional effectiveness analysis is really in order. We know that the areas that need to be most specifically focused on are manufacturers 1 and 2, and we even know the segments. But based on the fact that business is really tanking, a full promotion and pricing analysis for the category may be in order for retailer X. Hopefully you've learned something from this webinar, that there's a logic and flow that you should follow when identifying business issues. The examples I've shown you today are incredibly important for sales, marketing, category management professionals, anyone who has access to baseline and incremental sales data to really understand the business at a deeper level, regardless of the data source. If you analyze data, book promotions, influence trade spend dollar allocations, even if you just need to understand what's going on in a total category or within your brand, you need to understand all of these related areas. It's going to be beneficial to you, your team, and your organization. So these are the courses that we offer, and you can choose to take one course as a quick fix need for a project, or you can select a group of courses to create a customized program for yourself. The other option is to take one of our many different programs. We've combined our courses to create different course groupings based on role, whether you're in category management, sales, marketing, and we also have the category management programs specifically related to retailers. Of note, we can also customize programs for our corporate clients to include blended learning and customized elements in the program. If you're interested in learning more about CMKG courses and programs, here are some suggested next steps. If you enjoyed the video from this blog post, I really encourage you to share it with your social media avenues, and it's greatly appreciated. And if you're looking for great category management training for you, your team, or your organization, we're here to help. Have a great day.